Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this wondrous episode of Transmissions, Mechfans Toys is coming out with a Legends Scale G1 Trax. ToyWorld is giving us a World War II themed Bumblebee, and TakaraTomy is coming out with a Japan-exclusive Nemesis Prime. Today is Wednesday, March 13th, 2019, and this is episode 320 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that hopes you had a marvelous weekend. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Shazam! How you doing?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hello. Let's talk Transformers. I will not make a Captain Marvel joke.
Who made a Captain Marvel joke?
Jeremy's DC to the end. DC or die.
I made a Shazam joke.
All right, let's just move
Shazam is a joke.
You're a joke.
Aw.
And that was how the Marvel DC wars reignited. All right, we're here to talk Transformers. We're not here to argue about Marvel and DC. You do that on your own time, Daryl and Jeremy.
Daryl's upset that we did do that, and I still haven't edited it and put it up.
He won't even give me the files so that I can try.
Find the files. I've got them somewhere.
Take two.
We start off every episode by thanking our Donatreons, those beautiful people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal. I think you need to give us a little more so we don't lose files in our archives. Thank you. All the same. We want to give a special shout out to Derek, not number one Derek, but another Derek who we love very much. He has become a new duly appointed supporter of the Transmissions Podcast because he has increased his donation on Patreon. So Derek, I believe Derek is from Ireland, so this is our favorite Irish Derek. Thank you for helping us out.
So we have North American number one Derek and European number one Derek.
Exactly.
At least until Brexit. And then
well, I think is he in North Ireland or Southern Ireland? If he's in Southern Ireland, he's still in Europe.
We'll just talk the continent of Europe. We're still auditioning Derek's for other continents.
There are so many Dereks. Oh yes, hello, I'm here.
Russian Derek?
No, this is Russian Yoshi. How are you? These people giving us so much money. I love it. I love hearing about all the money that's coming in. You haven't paid your latest invoice though. I have to send another one.
You're kind of slipping into German Derek there a little bit. German Yoshi.
There is no German Derek. I mean Yoshi. No German Yoshi. I don't know who I am anymore.
Send that invoice straight to Daryl at transmissionspodcast.com. That'll make sure we get it.
That's his problem. I've been sending them to him, and he is broke. He has no money. I hear you're double doctor. I will send to you, Mr. Doctor Man.
Yes, send it to shelton.carl at transmit.it.
I thank you for saying slow. I am not very good at writing English. I know you did that on purpose and not to deceive me.
Thanks, Russian Yoshi. I'm sure you have to get going now. Goodbye. We'll talk to you later. Bring Daryl back. Send him back in on your way out. Thanks. Bye.
Click.
All right. All right.
These Americans are so polite. You sure they're not Canadians? I'm sure.
Yay, Daryl's back. Never leave again. If you would like to join in on this fun and become part of the Transmissions Donatreon family, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. That's where you'll find links to join us on Patreon or PayPal. If you don't want to contribute directly, you can still buy stuff from our shop at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. That'll help us out immensely if you buy a shirt or a mug or other paraphernalia. Or if you just want to buy something from TeePublic, there's lots of good stuff on TeePublic. And if you go through our link, it helps us out. So thank you for all your support. All right. Before we talk about toys, I do want to mention some comics news because it is New Comic Book Wednesday, and it's a very special New Comic Book Wednesday because Transformers #1 is out this week, and we have a very special interview.
This is the toy show. Yeah, this is the toy show. You'll get your chance in 2 days.
It's Wednesday, though, Daryl. We need to strike while the iron is hot.
We have an ulterior motive.
What iron? There's no iron. It's a toy show.
This is a.
I'll explain.
Network announcements.
I'll explain metaphors to you later, Daryl. But so we have an interview with Brian Ruckley, the writer on the new Transformers series. It's out. This interview is out today to coincide with the release of the Transformers #1 comic. We do have some slight spoilers for the first issue, so you should probably read the comic before you listen to the end of the interview. Most of the interview is spoiler free, but at the very end, we do get into some discussion on the first issue. So be sure to check that out. So it should be popping up in your podcast feed very quickly. If not, we will have a direct link in the show notes so you can find that. Hope you enjoy it. Just a little bit of special content just for you guys and anyone who clicks on the link. All right, now, Daryl, with that out of the way, we can talk about toys.
Oh, fantastic. This past week, we got an image or some kind of advertisement from Mechfans Toys advertising their newest figure, MS-25 Flywheel, and it's a Legend Scale G1 Trax. Now, looking at this thing, without really reading anything, I thought they were knocking off Masterpiece Trax. I saw it on my phone, I was looking at it, I was like, holy shit, that's a new Masterpiece Trax. Who's doing it? Mechfan. Okay, that's... to calling it flywheels, that's not flywheels. Oh, a flywheel, okay, that's different, okay. But now I find out it's Legend Scale. That brings it into a whole new ballpark. This thing looks really, really good. The part that got me right off the top before I knew the size of the figure was the paint scheme, or the paint quality. This thing looks beautiful. It's got this like metallic reflective paint, and it's blue like the G1 Trax is, obviously, and the rest of the stuff for robot mode really does look like it is really good quality, like a masterpiece quality. That's why I kind of got confused on first look. They even homage or showing the car that he turns into, which is the Corvette Stingray, down in their advertisement. I don't know. I'm really interested in this. Trax was one of my favorite characters growing up watching the show. I always enjoyed the episodes he was on because he was a Corvette. I think it's because my dad's favorite car was Corvette too, so it's kind of I was kind of had to like Corvettes, but yeah. Anyway, it looks really cool to me anyway, and Legend Scale is generally going to mean he's priced pretty low by comparison to Masterpiece. Jeremy, looking at this thing here, I know that we're all kind of interested in the Legend Scale stuff these days. What do you think of Flywheel here?
I never actually had a Trax until last year for my birthday. A listener of the show, one of my local friends here, Brad, gave me a G1 Trax. I really like the toy. And this guy, like I have it right here in front of me, and they did a great job with making this new one look like. I mean, I'm guessing they're stickers on there, but they look so much like the stickers on the actual toy. All 3 modes. I guess he was one of the first triple changers because of the little flying car mode, but they all look great. Mm-hmm. I'm really looking forward to seeing this guy. It seems like they did a really good job with it. Mm-hmm. It does look like the face is an actual face rather than the G1 toy, which has a faceplate.
Right.
That's not a big deal. It's more comic accurate.
I've just been looking at some of the thread underneath it, and it does appear like it does appear that he does have rubber tires, which is crazy for something this small. Scale? Yeah, which is great. I think that's awesome. And I'm just looking it up here. Apparently there is a pre-order available on tfdirect.com. I'm just trying to find it here. All right, so yeah, it is. It's a deposit only. It's $10 for the deposit. It doesn't actually tell you what the full price is going to be. That's odd. Usually they do.
But with these Legend Scales figures, I wouldn't think it'd be more than 60.
Oh my God, no. I can't imagine it coming up to 60 either, though. That's a lot. Yeah, but no, I think it's cool. Charles, what are your thoughts on this?
Trax is kind of an interesting, cool figure. The Corvette that turns into a Corvette with wings.
It's not really a triple changer, though, right?
No, I mean, I think that's
it's like a bonus.
It's borderline fan mode. I mean, the wings.
Yeah, I would like to know what that line is across the hood in both modes. That is kind of a weird thing here.
Yeah, I see it as well.
But yeah, I mean, Trax showed up a few times in the cartoon. He was in the comic a little bit. I have a little bit of a fondness for him. A Legend Scale Trax is a cool figure. It looks very detailed, looks very well done, and it looks very cartoon influence rather than original G1 toy influence. So yeah, looks nice. This is something I might pick up at a convention. I don't know if I'd order it online just to get it, but if I saw it at a convention and it looked nice, I might pick it up.
I agree with you. I'd like to see it in hand first, just to make sure that Mechfans Toys has not had the greatest reception in the fandom. I mean, they've knocked off a lot of stuff. And then they've stolen art to promote it on their boxes. So they're not really the best company out there, but it looks like they've tried to use that front end product to kind of pave the way for their original creations. Original in quotations, big, huge quotations here, because they're trying to make their own versions of Transformers characters and not knock them off anymore. But I'd like to see this in a convention too, and take a look and see how it actually works, or what the paint looks like as well, because we could be just looking at a hand painted sample. But yeah, that's all I brought to the table this week, guys. Jeremy, what did you find?
We have a picture from Dime Chalk of a World War II Bumblebee from ToyWorld. This is the TWFS-03. This is the movie-style Bumblebee. And this is an unpainted sample, but I imagine this is going to be the green World War II era colors on this. Not much more to the picture than this, but it looks pretty accurate to the the scene in the movie in The Last Night, and he is heavily armored. What do you guys think of this? Do you think you're gonna? Well, I guess none of us are really interested in buying the movie stuff, but what do you think of this?
I don't really. I mean, I know it's movie-based Bumblebee, but I mean, it just looks like a cool kind of mech transformer, but not very Bumblebee-like. Although there are multiple pictures here, like you see the hammer hooks on. There's a little hook on his back to hold his hammer.
Yeah, the weapon storage is nice.
Yeah, he's got, I guess, multiple heads for like his bee mask, two B masks and two, I guess, or I don't know if it's just the antennas flip out in both.
Well, yeah, it looks like there's two different kind of weapon mode masks and two different faces.
Yeah.
One looks like it's more resembling the movie, but maybe it's the mask on the face. Can't really tell.
And then the car mode looks really nice, actually. I think it reminds me of the car the Nazi general drove in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And that it looks. I mean, that car mode looks pretty clean compared to how as always, the Bayverse designs are a bit spiky in robot mode. So it's cool that how it folds up into that relatively smooth car mode.
Yeah. Daryl, it looks like the legs themselves are pretty impressive engineering. What do you think? ToyWorld did a good job?
Yeah, I think they did. I'm looking at the shot of his back here, and I do like how everything kind of folds into a flat surface. Not a flat, but it's not that everything, there's not a lot of bits and parts poking out. It all kind of settles in on the same level.
No huge backpack.
Then the exactly, and then the hammer can kind of peg in on the peg there and look really menacing as a backpack piece or as a weapon storage. I liked how the front wheels placement on his shoulders, they look good, facing backwards, kind of like little turbines, but they're not. The legs themselves, I agree with you. They do seem to be really, really awesome as far as engineering wise. You can see on the same picture of the back of him, you can see the rear wheels sitting right at the bottom of his feet. So I wonder if I don't know. I don't think the wheels are going to be rubberized, because you'd probably see some kind of difference in plastic color or something like that in this prototype. But if they did, I wonder if they would add some kind of grip by having the rubber wheels on the bottom.
Yeah.
But I really like the way that it all kind of folds up here. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, we have a few other pictures from ToyWorld for upcoming releases that we don't really have anything other than these pictures, but we have TW-F04 Burst. This is, I believe, one of the bots from the Bumblebee movie. Is that right? I'm not sure.
Looks like
this is Shatter.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
hopefully it'll actually be a triple changer.
That would be kind of a nice middle finger to Hasbro. It's like, hey, you put these triple changers in the movie, but you're not giving us the toys. And then we also have TWF-05 Drop Shoot. I'm guessing this is Dropkick from the movie. Mm-hmm. This one, you can tell he's a car, but you also see the helicopter blades there. So, yeah, I mean, hoping these are triple changers. And then...
Well, that's the thing, is this with the Burst one as well. You can see the wheels for the car mode, and then on the wings hanging off her back, right?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those
both of these
integrate in car mode.
Yeah,
and
I look at both of these and I see, I really don't care too much about the movie designs, but man, if they can make these things turn into both modes, I'm going to be really impressed. Yeah. To the point where I almost want to buy them, because I want to support the fact that a company actually did it, whereas the main company that was behind the movie couldn't do it. Or wasn't able to do it. I'm sure that designers at Hasbro are able to, but they are so limited.
It was probably more a financial decision.
Right. And if it was, then don't put triple changers in the movie.
Yeah. Well, in this way, they get to sell twice the number of toys, because they'll sell both modes.
Sure.
Rounding this out, we have TWF-09 Freedom Leader, and I'm guessing this is the Bumblebee movie version of Optimus Prime. It looks like Optimus Prime. That design was very G1-esque. So, I mean, all we have here is art. But we've seen a number of Optimus Primes. We kind of know what to expect. It'll be interesting to see their take on it. Charles, what do you have this week?
Out of Japan, we've got a Transformers 35th Anniversary celebration, or exhibition, I should say, the World of Transformers. This is at Parco Museum in Ikebukuro from March 15th to April 1st. You can go to the Parco Museum website and you can see some of the things that are going to be there. One thing they mention is that you're going to see stuff, original art, toys, prototypes, wooden prototypes from the original, they would be Diaclone or Microman designs that became the G1 figures. They've got a special Bumblebee corner to promote the Japanese premiere of the Bumblebee movie, which should be happening at the end of this month. They've also got a pre-sale of the Art of Transformers book, which has a lot of Japanese G1 and G2 Transformers art, box art, and packaging art. You get a special poster from Hidetsugu Yoshioka. That's a free poster featuring a G1 Optimus Prime and the new movie Bumblebee. A Transformers 35th anniversary sticker. They've got a one-step turbocharger Optimus Prime and Bumblebee that they're giving away to school kids, which is nice. Then you can also buy some Masterpiece movie figures, 06 Bumblebee and 07 Ironhide, and lots of other merchandise and paraphernalia. I guess this is related to the Bumblebee Cafe that we talked about last week. It's in the same location that Ikebukuro part of. Is this in I guess it's in Tokyo. I'm not really sure where Ikebukuro is, but it's in the same. The Bumblebee Cafe is in the same building as this museum where the 35th anniversary exhibition is. So Japan is actually celebrating Transformers for the 35th anniversary, so that's nice.
If only Hasbro had some kind of event that they could celebrate Transformers.
They would have if they didn't cancel it, or I should say postpone it. Mm-hmm. It's also interesting because I think in at least for the official Transformers brand in Japan, that started in 85 instead of 84. So technically it's not even the 35th anniversary for them. It's more for us. Or I guess you can say it's worldwide 35th anniversary. Mm-hmm. Continuing the theme of the 35th anniversary celebration, we've got a couple of things from Hero X. They are producing a reprint of the Transformers Generations book, which this was published in 2001. And this features a lot of information and toys on Generation 1, Generation 2, Machine Wars, Japanese and Europe exclusive releases. And so this is a pretty cool book. I saw on Twitter James Roberts was actually raving about this book. He said this was his Bible back in the day for Transformers information, and he was encouraging people to pick it up if they got a chance to get this book. So, of course, the text will be all in Japanese, but the pictures are still all Transformers. So
you should just still be able to hold up a phone with Google Translate up and have it do its magic, right?
Probably, yeah. That's probably in 2019. Yeah, we've got universal translators in our pocket now. So, yeah, that's a good point, Jeremy. You might even be able to do it for the image on the link here and see if it works.
Try.
Also, Hero X is putting out a 35th anniversary T-shirt, and it's a picture of actually Unicron's floating head. It says Transformers, it is chaos, it is Unicron. So that's a cool picture, cool T-shirt there. I think this is still targeted at the Japanese market primarily, so it's interesting they still put the logo on their shirts is all English, so that's interesting. So I guess if you want to pick up this shirt, maybe you could import it from Japan.
So just so you know, it's not exactly the best, at least using the translate on my screen.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's just because of the screen or what, but it did get the word anniversary at some point. 35 anniversary, something like that. So it's trying.
A for effort.
Yeah.
All right. So if you are in Japan, you might want to check out that 35th anniversary exhibition. It's going on for about 2 weeks, so you've got plenty of time. So it should be starting this Friday. So check it out. I do have one last topic. So this is an actual toy from Japan. TakaraTomy has put out a legendary Nemesis Prime 7-Eleven Japan exclusive figure. So I guess you can only pick this one up at 7-Elevens in Japan.
7-Elevens in Japan are much better than 7-Elevens elsewhere.
Well, clearly, if you can get cool Transformers like this there.
Does it say 7-Eleven on it anywhere?
Let's see.
Not that I can tell.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
Yeah, so I guess it's just they're the exclusive retailer, but they don't put any branding on the package. Which is probably,
Well, it might be on the package, not on the figure.
yeah. But so this Nemesis Prime figure is a black repaint of the legendary Optimus Prime figure that was released last year, which is, I guess, it's like an upscaling retool of the evasion mode Optimus Prime.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Daryl, you have some familiarity with that figure and some notoriety on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but it's a good figure.
Yeah.
Definitely a different transformation than you'd ever expect with an Optimus Prime. If you've never messed with Evasion Mode Optimus, it's definitely worth it if you're a fan of Optimus Prime figures. Even if you're not a movie fan, I still recommend it as a toy engineering fan. Just mess around with it. It's cool.
And this one is a little bit bigger, so it's even
Definitely
nicer and more detailed. Of course, that comes with a price. This is on their website, I guess 7net's website, for 7,500 yen before tax. So that's about $75. The original figure was 6,800 yen. So I mean, it's not that huge of a markup, but it is, it's already a pretty big base price. So, it's. You can order it on the website now, but the figure will not be in stores until September 13th. It's a little bit of a wait. You can pre-order it now. It's a little bit of a wait. Jeremy, you are a fan of Nemesis Primes, if I am remembering correctly, or at least RID Scourge, which was the original kind of...
I am. I'm not a fan of the movie figures, but I am a fan of the color scheme. And, I like what they did here. I particularly like how, the flames, you mentioned the transformation, how it's different. The flames on the sides of the vehicle end up on his chest. Well, I guess that's a fake chest. So those are really the ones that are on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay, points deducted for having a fake chest. I like them all natural. But the colors, the teal, the red, and the black, that it all works well together. I like it.
All right, well, that's my toy topic, so let's move on to some trips to the store. This is where we show off all the amazing Transformers stuff we got this week. You can see this as a video that we put on YouTube, so you can see everything we've got in beautiful high definition. Or you can just listen to the podcast, keep listening now, and you can hear us describe everything in loving detail. But you really should check out that video, help us, get some views on YouTube, and seeing is believing. So without further ado, trips to the store. All right, so let's talk about the stuff we got this week. Jeremy, let's start off with you.
All right, well... I got in on the recent Loot Crate that featured the theme Transformation. As evidenced by this box, which references a character that transforms from a man into a green hulking beast. Transformation is the theme, but they had in here an exclusive card for the Transformers trading card game, Omega Supreme. So that was kind of why I got it, even though I have yet to play the game. This is seems like a pretty popular card. From what I've seen online, people are excited to have it. Yeah, it's age 8+. We had to put a little card in there saying that, but it's a nice nice bit of artwork on here. I like the foil. I don't know how well that will come through here with the stuff, but it's got some foil effects on it. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. The crate also came with some other stuff, which I'm not really going to get out, but there's an Alita Battle Angel pin that is her robot hand. There's a Hulk comic standee that I have yet to open, and there's I think it's a Naruto pint glass. I'm not interested in really any of those, so there might be action on my eBay page at some point for some of the stuff. But anyway, yeah, it was neat. This was the first loot crate I'd ever done. Made sure to remember to cancel before they charged me for the next month.
Yep.
And I just realized I forgot to make myself a big screen, so oh well.
Do it now and show the card again.
So this is the card.
Do it now!
And the back, that other little card is kind of obscuring some of the art, but you get to see both of his alt modes, the rocket and the tank. So I don't know who did the art on this, but it's really good. I wish that they would tell us who did the art. That's one of my biggest complaints about these things.
Yeah. All right. Daryl, what do you got this week?
This week, I only have one thing to show you guys. I broke a rule of my own, and I bought a movie figure. I know, I'm disappointed in myself too.
Who had March 13th, 2019?
This is Studio Series Optimus Prime number 32. This is the Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime. I'm waiting to open it until I get the Jetfire, because I really want to combine the two and just kind of have them like that. I think it looks kind of cool, and that's the reason why I bought them. I really have no other interest in this thing other than that. The combined form is really the reason why I got this thing. It looks cool, I guess. It looks like Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime. Yeah, that's what I got.
Nice. Well, we won't judge you for buying a movie toy, Daryl.
Yes, we will.
We won't judge you, but the listeners might.
They all will. I know.
All right. I guess I will end the trips to the store with my stuff. I also signed up for that loot crate, so here it is. And yeah, I got all the same stuff Jeremy got. Here is my Omega Supreme. And yeah, I mean, I guess it looks the same as Jeremy's, so yeah. Not too much different. But
you're probably the bigger Omega Supreme fan out of all of us. So what do you think of it?
I do like it. I think the art is very nice. I also got the Metroplex set, so the card size is similar to the Metroplex cards. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's cool. The art is cool. It's nice tie-in with the War for Cybertron Siege figure announcements. So, it seems like if you did, I think also this was a good deal because the loot crate was on sale when we got it for like $10.
Yeah, something like $10, $12.
Yeah. I am a bit disappointed that the transformation loot crate only had one Transformers thing in it. All the rest of the stuff was stuff I didn't really care about. So
yeah, I forgot there was a shirt in there too. I can't remember what I did with the shirt. Oh,
the shirt is Adventure Time.
Yeah,
so
which another thing I'm not really interested in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was hoping for a Transformers shirt, but nope. I have one other thing. So this week is my birthday. March 12th is my birthday. And we had a little family celebration on the weekend. My son gave me a present. I don't know if you can see but here he wrapped this up. It says Autobots Roll Out.
Aww.
And when you open it up, there is a little figure. It is an iPod Nano that transforms. Oh no, I broke it.
Oh no.
Oh.
Father of the year.
You can fix it.
Don't
You're an
worry,
engineer.
I can fix it.
Yep.
Well, it has an Autobot. It's an Autobot symbol. He's an Autobot transformer. It's a drawn symbol, so I know how you hate the stamps, Daryl. So he drew the Autobot symbol there.
Good. Did a good job.
And yeah, he transforms into a robot mode.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with those paper transformers. That very fragile.
My son has gotten into origami, so I think this is the natural evolution of papercraft here. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Nate. I really appreciated your toy, and I'm sorry I broke it on camera. But if you're ever watching this, but yeah, by the time he sees this, it'll be back on. This will be back on. But thank you for making this special custom Transformers just for me for my birthday. So this is just a very cool thing. This is one of the perks of being a father, having your son show that much interest in what you like. So thank you.
Well, I mean, you should definitely encourage just the ingenuity and stuff that went into making that.
Yeah, he's a good kid most of the time,
aren't they all?
So that's my toys. And that'll do it for trips to the store. All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and let's move on to some convention news.
All right, convention news. We just have a couple TFCon updates, and these we would normally put in alt mode, and we did actually put them in alt mode, but since this comes out on Wednesday and TFCon starts on Friday, we wanted to double up to make sure people know. Because, in particular, this first one is pretty popular at the conventions. So, if you're familiar with Transformers Animated, you probably know Derek J. Wyatt. He was the lead character designer, art director, and he's all around good guy. He will be taking part in a Q&A panel with Eric Siebenaler and Marty Eisenberg on Saturday. No, sorry, I don't know when this is, but it's likely Saturday. But he will be there all weekend. But he's going to be in that Q&A panel. He is I bet Daryl will say in alt mode that he is probably going to be near Josh Perez's table if he's not at the Q&A panel. So
I likely will say that.
Look him up. He's really fun. We've had him on the show, I think, once, and and just go and say hi. And we also have Marlene Aragon, who is the voice of Alita 1 in the G1 cartoon. This is her first ever convention appearance, and she will be there on Saturday signing autographs. So if you're interested in getting a G1 signature that you've never been able to get before, be sure to check her out. And I think that is it for convention news this week. Just a couple short updates.
All right, well, let's finish up the show with some feedback. All right, we have an email from one of our Donatreons, Paul. He sent this last week, but we missed it. Sorry about that. But he asked us, there's a small thing he noticed with the new War for Cybertron Siege line of toys. In the instructions, they also include the names of the guns the figures come with. I think this is kind of cool, but also very forgettable. What do you think about this? So, for me, I mean, it's nice, but I want tech specs. I don't think these are a poor substitute for tech specs that they have dropped from the boxes in the latest toy line. I think tech specs are something that should stay on Transformers packaging, but it seems like they keep wanting to get rid of them. And I like tech specs. Bring back tech specs. That's
I will say, I
feeling.
believe the names are names that were used in the Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron games. Electroscope launcher, hollow beam refraction blaster. I'm sure I've seen some names that were also in the game. So that's a neat, name reuse.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like to have tech specs on the box, but it is nice that these weapons have their own little tech specs in the instructions.
Yeah.
If you recall back in the original G1 era, the weapons had names there too. They just weren't documented on the boxes or in the instructions
like you had the
or
glass
anything
gun
like that.
and stuff.
Yeah, so you had to watch the TV show or you had to read the comic, and a lot of them were mentioned in there, but none of them actually came in the boxes or anything like that with the toy. So a lot of the characters had the names with their guns or for their guns, but nothing as like specific as this with the tech spec kind of for each weapon, which is kind of, if you're a modern gamer, then if you're putting on the hollow beam refraction blaster, it's got much more accuracy than the electroscope launcher, so okay, so I want to be able to share these guns, and it's kind of a neat thing that they're doing. It makes no difference to me because I don't really quote unquote play with my figures anymore, but I honestly will put the gun that looks best with the figure, with them. But it's a nice touch, and if you're trying to go after a video game audience, that's something that they can kind of relate to, because they know from playing like Call of Duty or some shit like that this gun is better than this gun, or this is more suited to that, and whatever, so they can have fun with that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I guess it's mostly positive, but I still want more. I want robot tech specs, so bring those back, Hasbro. All right, we got a few comments from Discord. First one from our friend Ant from tfu.info. He had a quick comment on last week's episode. Since we had a discussion about name reuse, we had talked about Barricade, since Barricade was actually reused from a G1 Micromaster for the new 2007 movie character, who is now getting a new toy in the War for Cybertron Siege line. Ant writes in that names were reused within G1 itself. That's not a new thing. There were at least 2 name reuses within the G1 pre-1990 in North America. Barrage, who started off as a deluxe Insecticon and then was later an Autobot Micromaster, and Sky High, who was first a Pretender and then later a Micromaster. So that's it. Yeah, nice little tidbit there. So
yeah, I can see the Barrage one because it's such an obscure thing. Never made it into the TV show. Never made it into the comic book. Was just like this obscure, toy. Sure, let's use the name again, but a Pretender then becoming a Micromaster, that's a really close reuse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's only like a year between those 2 toy lines.
Maybe
right?
no one bought whichever came first.
Yeah.
I mean, also back in the G1 days, Hasbro was not very protective of their toy name trademarks. Like, they didn't really figure out that those names had value until a little bit later, when they lost them and had to fight to get them back. Cool. Thanks, Ant, for that nice bit of information. Another note we have from friend of the show, number 1 Derek, and Donatreon. Also, Ant is a Donatreon too, so thank you, Ant, for your contribution. So number 1 Derek says, hey, just wanted to tell you guys that you are continuing to do an amazing job on this podcast. All the money I spend on different Patreons, I feel you are my top 2, and I'm very proud to spend the money. It's going to a quality podcast, an extremely great group of guys. I wish you all were coming to TFCon so we can make that legendary run to the local comic shop, but I understand. Don't worry about Yoshi. We'll make sure he behaves himself. Keep up the great work. Derek, do you plan to have any fun at TFCon? Because if you're going to be making sure Yoshi behaves himself, that's a 24-hour job. So I'd say just let him run wild.
I do think Yoshi and I were talking about this earlier in the week. We got to figure out a way to make the local comic shop run kind of something that we do when we go to conventions, because it was a lot of fun in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Derek, thanks so much for your kind words. I know I've had the pleasure of hanging out with Derek several times at several conventions. We met back at BotCon in 2014, and then I've seen you a couple times. I'm really bummed I missed the last TFCon in Chicago, but next one we meet up at, we'll definitely hang out and hit up that comic shop wherever we are.
Toronto.
All right. Well, that's all our feedback for this week. And that'll do it for this episode of Transmissions. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Look, we all know about time zones, Quattro. We've been dealing with Yoshi for 5 years. We know about time zones. All right, now, Daryl, with that out of the way, we can talk about toys.
Oh, can I do it now?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Cool.
Go. The Transformers will be back. The Transmissions will be back after these messages.
Yeah.